was a foggy start to the day out at Ted Stevens International Airport in Anchorage. You can see that visibility near zero at times as that dense fog developed right along the inlet, making for some even icier conditions where that fog touched the roads. This was the view again, just right around Ted Stevens mid-morning. Not much to see there. If you were above the fog layer or a little further inland, really beautiful conditions today and some nice sunshine, even more sunshine further into the valley. A little bit light snow still lingering in Fairbanks from yesterday's storm. That's about wrapped up though, seeing pretty calm, clear conditions all the way to the slope and a nice break between storms for the west coast, and even seeing some of that clearing after a wet day down into southeast as well. But already starting to see the signs of the next storm, rain, snow, and that wintry mix pushing in here to Bristol Bay, across the Alaska Peninsula, and moving into the Kuskokwim Delta tonight. This area of low pressure is going to move right up the west coast, eventually spreading moisture also into south central and into southeast midweek. And we do already have winter warnings in effect for the western side of the state, just as one storm wraps up. Again, pretty quick break before the next one moves in. So these winter storm warnings in effect here out west for 6 to 14 inches of snow starting tonight and continuing all the way into Wednesday morning. Highest amounts will be up closer to the Brooks Range, but do be prepared for that wind and snow again for all these areas highlighted in pink. We're also going to see those winds picking up here across the Alaska Range passes and along the Dalton Highway. That's going to likely cause some blowing snow. So if you're traveling along the highway, Parks Highway or Dalton Highway, do be prepared for the impacts from that wind. But again, out west, it's 6 to 14 inches that we're expecting, again, continuing all the way through Wednesday morning. So that moves up the west coast. But at the same time, we do have some of that moisture is going to move across Kodiak, mostly rain for you. Pushing into Homer and Seward tomorrow night, you'll see a wintry mix there. Here we are 4:30 and seeing those wet conditions ramping up pretty quickly on the Kenai Peninsula. Wet from Seward all the way up into Whittier with snow likely through Turnagain Pass. And then Anchorage is going to be right on the very northern edge of this. So a little wintry mix in the second half of the day is possible with snow on the east and south sides of town. And then we're going to see more of that moisture also pushing into southeast, also falling as a wintry mix once we get into the second half of the day. Much calmer conditions across the interior. Again, eventually seeing chances for a little light snow, but that doesn't happen until Wednesday. Temperature-wise, we will see those temperatures across the interior falling to the lower teens early tomorrow morning, but then still pretty mild through the afternoon. Highs getting back into the mid-20s. You can see 24 there in Fairbanks, 25 out at Chena Hot Springs, down at Harding Lake about 28, also about 28 in Nenana tomorrow. And then down into southeast, you'll see that moisture moving through, but not until the second half of the day. Temperatures there warming a little bit, 39 for the high there in Juneau, back up to 44 in Sitka. We will see some breezy winds as that front pushes through in the afternoon. Across the Kenai Peninsula, again, wet for the coastal areas, including Homer and Seward. It'll be a wintry mix. Temperatures in Seward do start out below freezing, but climbing to those upper 30s in the second half of the day. We'll see some breezy winds there and even stronger down in Kodiak, gusts to about 50 miles per hour. We'll see breezy winds and wet conditions with this front in Whittier. Light snow in Valdez. It was 9 inches that we picked up in Valdez there yesterday into early this morning. Quiet across the valley, mostly cloudy. You will see chances, again, just for a little wintry mix at the tail end of the day. High temperatures back into the upper 30s. Mid-30s for Anchorage after starting in those mid-20s. Better chances for that rain and snow as you head into Girdwood. Temperatures starting below freezing there and then back into the upper 30s in the second half of the day. Again, still seeing good, decent chances for that wintry mix in and out Wednesday and Thursday with highs in the mid-30s in Anchorage. And then we'll see a chance for a little wintry mix again over the weekend. Temperatures at that point start to drop. And I want to give you a heads up, early heads up, Rebecca, as we head into Monday, we're going to see much colder conditions statewide.
Wow, it's about time. Thank you, Melissa.